Go for it. You got it.
No, you go first.
No, you got
I'll do the other question.
Hi, I'm Paul An, and I grew up in New York.
I'm Jo Song. I've lived in the city for 16 years, and we live in Hell's Kitchen with our 2 daughters.
Alpha is a really great place to invite friends who may be far from Jesus or who might not have any context for Christianity. It's a space where dinner is provided, wine is provided, and it's a great atmosphere to bring people.
We feel really strongly about parents, especially in our community, being our mission field, and so it's an easy segue and tippy-toeing into kind of sharing our beliefs, and I think it's really not super Christianese in some ways, so we feel really comfortable with bringing people there because it's kind of like your segue into Christianity.
Something like Alpha is a great, easy way to invite people that are in your sphere of influence to just have a discussion and be open, and it's a really non-judgmental atmosphere. And different seasons we've invited different people, and when we've invited folks, they would go maybe 1 or 2 sessions and kind of fizzle out. But it wasn't till we started going with the actual friend for the entire season that they would stick it out.
What we've noticed is it was a season where we invited one of our friends from the playground. I babysat, he took him regularly, and it was just like easy for me. It was like, no kids, this is great. And then after he went, I felt like, okay, I should bring somebody else because he's been talking about it a little bit in our community. And so then she came, and then what we're realizing is really this just trickle effect of other people. We actually had another parent be like, hey, how come you haven't invited me to Alpha? So it's been really strange in our community, just people being really curious. And I think having one person in our group go has really just set this domino effect of really people being curious and asking questions. And so even though we haven't seen necessarily him come to church, we've seen this discussion open about God and about the church. And so it's really been exciting for us to really see that in a group that really just doesn't talk about religion, doesn't really know God, and so it's been exciting in that sense. There's a lot at stake for parents because if they believe, we see generational faith, and so that's our hope, that we can get to the parents and then that we'll just see generations upon generations kind of like live in the faith. And so we see kind of just a comfort of like, now that the people who've come to Alpha have kind of seen the church, we've invited them to like kids events, and they've come because they feel comfortable with kind of the atmosphere. And so our hope is that, God will just continue to work on that little seed and really grow it and really bring them to Christ.